some issues with the live on Facebook and YouTube and the others. So please let me know if you are hearing me well. There is no cutting, there's no issues, and let me know if you can see me as well. I will see if we are live on all social media. I can see you guys in the chat, so please reply to me if you can hear me well. Very well. I see you guys hearing me on YouTube. How are you guys? That's very good. People can hear me now on LinkedIn, only Facebook, I think. Um, Let me check on Facebook. So I'm starting a bit earlier. We are 5 minutes earlier. Just make sure that everything is clear. So, guys, today what we'll be talking about is basically the shortest path to land a high paid penetration testing job. What is exactly the path? This session will have lots of information. I just want to make sure that everybody is here hearing me, and as well in this session I will answer all your questions and everything. So just to make sure that we have everything is working fine. Um, I need to check lots of things. Hmm. So guys, today as well, I will be answering all your questions. We have our in-depth red team training. It's actually in early bird price, and the price will expire today. So if you have any questions, I will be able to help you through this session. Um, I'll just make sure that people who are seeing the ad. So hopefully people will see the live. We are for the very first time we are live on Twitter. Thanks Twitter, they added a new API that we can easily go live without having to use the phone. I hope it's working actually. So, guys, how are you? I hope this Sunday is a relaxing day for you guys. I know the Egyptian people will be working today. People who are working from Middle East, they will be working today. And for Europeans, today is free. I took that time at 3 p.m. so you guys can easily join in and tap in and just listen and share your information as well. Share your experiences in penetration testing and how did you get to the job and so on. So, Um, do you guys hear me on Facebook? I don't see people from Facebook commenting. So, do you guys hear me on Facebook? I see some likes, but I don't know if you guys can hear me well. I don't see people from Facebook commenting. So guys, So let's get started. So today, what we're gonna talk about is the shortest path to land a high-paid penetration testing job. And here's the thing: there's so many people who take, mostly in cybersecurity, there's so many different paths and so many different ways to learn the exact same thing, to land the exact type of jobs. But there is a shorter path, the path that gets you to a really good job, to be seen as an expert. And there's a path that takes you years and years working in a very low jobs in cybersecurity, like a SOC, like a very low intern job. And you work there for 6 months, then you start to be in a lower job, a junior pen tester, or as a SOC analyst, and you stay there for maybe 3 more years, and then after that, probably you will have a better job. Um, for the guys who are asking about, is it recorded? Yes, it will be recorded. It will all be on YouTube. Just go to the YouTube channel and you will find it there. So let's continue. There is actually a way shorter path. And I have been fortunate enough to kind of stumble across that path. I was working as a I was actually a mechanical engineer. I was studying mechanical engineering for a long, long time, for 4 years in the university. And in that time, I was studying cybersecurity, and I was really interested into it. I was studying from hacking to different web hacking to so many different types, as well. I was studying malware writing and malware analysis and so many different fields. And somehow there was a malware called Stuxnet, and this malware was booming. Everybody was talking about. All companies were scared from this malware. It's the malware that the President Obama talked about, the Ahmadinejad, the president of Iran, talked about. The FBI was behind it, or NSA, and Israel, and so many different things. There was Everybody in the media was talking about. So many companies were actually affected by this malware, and they were all looking for answers: how to protect themselves against this malware, what they should do. And I came at that time, and I wrote a very small analysis paper on one part of this malware, not the whole malware, just a small part of it. And guess what? I posted that on my blog. There was nobody almost visiting my blog. Uh, and then once I posted, there was 1,000 people visiting my blog every single day. I got in just 6 months over 5 different job offers after analyzing this malware. I wrote a full analysis a bit later in Code Project, and it went into 23,000 views for just this report. The whole thing is here that people think that they have to go with proper education, go into CH or Security Plus, then do this, then do that, so many different steps, and then work as a SOC analyst, or take the OSCP, and then take the VAPT, and then after that work for as an intern for a bit of time, and then work at this and this, until after 5 years I am fine, and $20,000 of investment, I am finally working in a good job as a penetration tester. But the truth is not about that. What I have done with Stuxnet, that I focused on something that people were like, a problem that companies were looking for answers at that time. I knew that this is a big threat for people. Well, I didn't know. I just stumbled across that. I just did an analysis. But here's the thing: Stuxnet malware was one of the most scariest threats that companies are facing at that moment. And I appeared at that moment as an expert, helping them to understand this malware, to detect this malware in their systems, and to respond to this. And guess what? All the companies asked me to work with them. I didn't need to apply for jobs. They were already, the companies were applying for me. I got 5 different offers, literally 5 different offers. I worked in EGCert, I worked after in QCert, I worked in Komodo, and there was also one company from UK that contacted me. It was Brivix at the time. It was part of Webroot, and as well another Italian company. So 5 different offers in just 6 months of time. And that's why, because I focus on what companies are scared from. So here's the thing: if you want to build if you want to really get a high paid job in in penetration testing specifically, or cybersecurity in general, in a very short time, just look what companies are scared from the most. What is the biggest threats they are facing? And if I come to them as an expert in solving this problem, in protecting them against this threat, I will be the one they will choose to work and will choose to hire. If not, the companies will come to me to ask me to work with them. And this is a reality. This is not something I am exaggerating for advertisement or something. This is the reality. If you are the person who can protect companies against the threats they are facing, they will come to you to ask you to work with them. And I saw that so many times. And recruiters do reach out to me many times. Microsoft, Amazon, and many other companies. And I have worked on in Semantic, and I have worked in Tenable as well through all of that. So, um, are you guys hearing me well? I don't see activities for some reason. Um, is everybody okay? I don't see anyone on Facebook commenting or as well on LinkedIn. Guys who are on Facebook, please let me know if you can hear me well. If you are the LinkedIn guys, do you hear me well? People are saying yes, yes, hi, yes, yes, yes. Very good. Um, Acton is asking, um, are the training recorded or it's live training? Well, it's actually the in-depth red team training that we will talk about more today. It's actually a recorded training. It's not. It's pre-recorded videos. There's also lots of other material, the slides, um, the all the samples, the projects, the basically the whole lab in the cloud that can help you do the red teaming. But everything or most of things are not live. There is a Zoom call every second Monday that we do with all the students that you can that is live, that you can come and ask me questions. I will be there for 1 2 hours answering everybody questions. You can share your screen, you can ask whatever the question, can review your resume, whatever that suits you. I will be there with you in these live sessions. But apart from that, the whole training is pre-recorded. You can go through it whatever you prefer, whatever the speed you prefer, whatever the time you prefer. It's all for you. So let's return back. Let's review what we were talking about. What I was saying is that if you want to work, if you want to really get a high paid job in the shortest time possible, high paid job in cybersecurity or in penetration testing specifically, here's the thing: look what companies are scared from the most. What are their biggest problem? What are their biggest threats? You are the one who they will hire to solve a problem they have. So many people, they look to work in companies, they want the company to solve their problem, they want the company to give them years of experience and money and everything, but they don't think what they are solving for that company, what is the problem they are solving, how they are generating money for them or saving them 10 times the salary that he is asking for. What actually you are doing for them that can make this company better. Companies, they are looking at the threats they are facing. They are facing different types of threats. um, they are facing different types of threats. They are facing web attacks, and there's lots of people who work on web bug hunting, where they can basically find these vulnerabilities for companies and report them, and hopefully they can get some money. They are facing threats from exploits and new vulnerabilities. They are facing insider type of threats. They're facing so many different type of threats. But here's the thing: There is only one type of threats, two type. Well, one type of threats that companies are really facing that cost them millions of dollars every single year. The type of threats that you see every day in the news, in the hacker news, in New York Times, and every type of news, they talk about these threats, which is the targeted ransomware attacks and the APT attacks or advanced persistent threats. These type of threats are basically few attackers like a gang planning an attack for over a month to attack this organization. They know all the employees, where they work, what exactly they do, who they report to, who is their managers, who is the HR, the payroll, everything. And then they plan an attack that includes social engineering, that includes malware that has been just developed for this organization, viruses they have created, backdoors or malicious documents or PowerShell scripts or different different VBA macros and so on, different types of malware that they will use, these attackers will use to attack just this specific organization. They plan all of this. They know who are working. They have a plan of the whole organization, who's working where and who's reporting to. They have their own malware and they have their own plan to attack this organization, reach until they take control of the whole organization, encrypt all of their data, and ask for ransom. And these ransoms are increasing every single day. We hear a bigger price now. Now there's ReEvil was asking for $12 million. U.S. government is saying that ransomware become a national security issue. It's not just a type of cybersecurity attack. It become a national security issue that the government and NSA is fighting back. These type of attacks become a really massive threat to organizations. If you are the person who appears right now, and I'm talking about right now, I'm talking about the attacks that's happening right now. If you appear right now and say, well, I know how to help companies protect themselves against ransomware attack, how much you will be worth to them? More than the person who can fix some web vulnerabilities or scan the system with the NASAs or scan the system with different tools or use Metasploit to attack the company. The person who knows how to protect them against the biggest threat right now, which is ransomware attacks and ABT attacks, how much that person is worth to organization. This person is worth the millions of dollars they lose every single year from these type of attacks. This is basically it. It's a basic math. If you want to really land a high paid job in that field, in any field in cybersecurity, focus on the biggest threat. Focus on the ransomware attacks, the ABT attacks. This is where the companies lose most of their money. This is the scariest type of attacks they might face. All you're going to need to do is to focus on solving this problem to the company. That's all of it. You want to work in the offensive side, you want to work in penetration testing, then focus on how you can simulate these attacks, how you can test the company against these type of attacks. Whatever this starts with a spear phishing, then how you can make a good spear phishing campaign. It starts with a malicious document, how you can craft your malicious document. They have fileless malware, how you can build your own fileless malware. The attackers build their own malware to attack the organization, how you can build your own malware that hasn't been seen before and test it against this organization, see if their defenses can able to detect that. If the if the attackers are bypassing defenses and bypassing the security team detections, how you can do exactly the same. If they are using the cloud and using different websites and different IPs every single time to be able to escape detection, how you can do exactly that. If you are able to do this and give the company a report, here's how I hacked the organization, here's all the weaknesses. If you able to protect yourself against these weaknesses, if you're able to patch these vulnerabilities and protect yourself against these, you will be more secure against ransomware attacks. You are the most valuable candidate they would ever want to hire because you are able to protect them. Unfortunately, there's so many people who focus on the wrong fields or the wrong skills inside cybersecurity. There is a question here. Um, if I'm able to get it back. There's so many comments here. Um, there is a comment here who's just saying that, oh, what about uh, web bug hunting? Well, let me tell you a thing. Web bug hunting right now is not the biggest threat that companies are facing. Let's say the truth. There are so many white hat hackers compared to black hat hackers in the web attacks. Every single time there's every single day, every minute there is a new there is a web bug hunter who found a vulnerability in a website in a company and reported this vulnerability. Imagine how much opportunities for the actually black hat hackers to abuse vulnerabilities in different websites. They don't have a chance because there is lots of people who work in web bug hunting trying to find vulnerabilities and report them to get some money. And guess how much they get a bounty? $100, $50, sometimes some goodies, some swags like a t-shirt, like a flash memory or stuff like that. Sometimes they get $1,000, and the vast majority what they get, duplicate. They get an email, this vulnerability was a duplicate, move on. We will not give you any money, will not give you any credit, will not even appear on our website. This vulnerability has been reported before. If you want to work in mutation testing and you choose that path, you choose a very high competition, very low threat to companies, very small problem that company want to fix because there's really not much of attacks that happening from from there's not much web attacks that actually can threaten a company or make them lose millions of dollars. So they don't care that much. The value of web attacks are way lower compared to spear phishing attacks or compared to a new malware or compared to a ransomware. There's way difference in the threat for companies. So they don't really value the web bug hunters, and as well, there's so many of them and they're all competing on the lowest price. The person who can live in India, with respect to India, of course, the person who can live in India get a very low amount of money compared to dollars, and he's okay with $50 bounty. He will be very happy working as a web bug hunter, and companies will just pay them the $50 or the $100. They wouldn't pay $10,000 for a bounty that's found in just 1 week or 2 weeks. The people who get $10,000, that has to be work for like 3 months or 4 months. And if you think about it, it's not really a job that can give you a living out of it. People who go through the path of I want to learn CH and then OSCP and become a pen tester. Well, how many people follow the exact same path? How many attacks you see in real life that goes through Metasploit, that goes through Nmap scanning, that use Kali Linux, the attacker use Nmap and Kali Linux and Metasploit, and he gets into the company and he basically make a massive attack that costs companies millions of dollars. It does happen, but very, very rare. Very, very rare. But on the other hand, there is so many people who went into the exact same path, who took the CH, who took the Security Plus, then they took the OSCP, and now they are applying for jobs without actually achieving much in their career. So that's not the best way. That's the longest way to get a really good job in mutation testing. As I said, the shortest path finds the big threat that companies are facing and become the person who's able to protect them against these attacks. That's all what you need. Once you have the skills to protect them, now you have to prove that. Prove that through posts on LinkedIn or through blog posts, through different testing you have done. Download any of the download ADRs, antiviruses, bypass them, show that they are bypassable. Develop different tools, develop different red teaming tools, show a simulation project. Do so, like you have so many angles to look at red teaming and able to provide something to show that you have the expertise. That could be like, let's say, Red Canary, a famous company that focus on red teaming and focus on detections. They did something called atomic red bomb or atomic red team. Atomic red team basically is this very simple idea. These are little scripts that test your security against specific type of attacks. And they have created different PowerShell scripts that simulate different types of attacks. And with that, they become super famous. This is now recommended everywhere. There's just one project. So there are so many ways you can show that you have the skills. Focus on the skills that matter the most to companies. Show your skill, showcase your skill through LinkedIn profile, through your own blog. In medium.com you can create your own blog. Show these skills, and then you will get you will be one of the top 5% of candidates. And this is for real because there's very few people who focus on actual threats that companies are facing. The vast majority are focusing on the path that everybody has set: CH, Security Plus, web bug hunting, um, or OSCP, and then we continue in that direction. This is the vast majority, the 95%. But if you are from the 5% who focus on the attacks that matters the most to companies, you are the top 5% to them. You are the one that companies will come to you to ask you to work with them. And I saw that happen to many of my students, not just one or two, many of my students who get companies that ask them, why not work with us? And recruiters reach out to them, do you want to apply for in our organization? So many people. So all what you're gonna need is to be that person. Let me read the comments. So great explanation, Amr Thabit. Thank you, Muhammad. Um, I'm searching for. I was searching on for resources. Damn, you are on time. Perfect. I think so. Ahmad Tariq say, no man. If you search on bug bounty programs, you'll find people getting a lot of money. I saw someone who was paid $30,000 for a vulnerability in Google. That is great, and it does happen. But you have to count two things. The first thing, how long does he work to get the $30,000? You know that $30,000 doesn't pay for your expenses for 6 months, for 5 months. If you're living if you're living in a country like Europe or you're living in US, your salary is three times, four times that amount of money. The question is, how long did it took him to get that vulnerability? And does he guarantee that he can get 30,000 every 5 months or every 3 months? Does he guarantee to get that? Does he guarantee that he will not get duplicate? He will not waste time on vulnerabilities that gets him 1,000 or 100? There is lots of people who are making money out of it. I don't say no, but there are this amount of work, the working hours per the salary is not as much, and there is no guarantee you will eat tomorrow. I see that because I saw lots of people who are living on the verge. They have a job and they do web bug hunting. It's kind of a hobby. Or people who are doing just web bug hunting, they don't live in Europe. They don't live in US. They just live in a country where the prices are very low. So this money can actually mean something. And here's the thing, Ahmad Tariq, let me ask you, if you have a really high paid job in penetration testing in US, how much you'll be earning? You'll be earning between $80,000 to $100,000 per year. Guaranteed salary. You don't need to find vulnerabilities to take that salary. You are not in question if I will eat tomorrow or not, I will have a vulnerability or not, I will be able to buy this or not. You are not in a question. If you get sick, you have a sick leave, you have days off, you have so many different things, and you still get paid. Is that better to get $80,000, $100,000 salary, or to probably one time in your life you will get $30,000 from Google after 5 months of work? Besides, you have so many vulnerabilities you have found that are duplicate, and so many vulnerabilities was found that you get only $100 or $50 or $1,000. and how much experience. Somebody who can get that, he can work as a senior or principal if he found that strong vulnerability in Google. So here's the thing: when it comes to cybersecurity, when it comes to working in a company, focus on the biggest threats. There is money in everywhere. There's they need penetration testers, they need web bug hunters, they need SOC analysts, they need all of this. But what they need the most, what they are willing to pay from their pocket the most, they will pay the most for somebody who protect them from the attacks that cost them the most, that cost them the biggest amount of losses, that the attacks that cost them millions of dollars. Can you remind me how many famous APT attacks that came from web attacks or came from exploits and metasploit that actually cost companies millions of dollars? I don't count much, maybe two in the whole year. Compare that to an attack like re-evil attacks or the other different groups in ransomware. It's really a lot. Re-evil just asked for 12 million from just one company. That's from just one company, and they attacked more and more and more. And they are not the only one in the attack. Not the only one who's attacking. Let me show you. I was talking yesterday with a manager in AT&T, and T, and he was sharing all the known attacks, all the known groups that actually causes companies millions of dollars, all the known ransomware groups, and we have so many of them. We have um, Conti, for example, which is one of the famous groups, and this is really attacks that cost companies a lot of money because they steal this information, they leak information, and as well they encrypt them and ask for money to decrypt them. It's really, really a big issue. So move to the next one. If someone is searching to work as a SOC analyst and he wants to be a threat hunter, um, security architect, will you recommend to that person which certificate or path he should take? This is a path for blue team. Today, I'm more focused on red team or the offensive side, but for that person, he is focused on the blue team direction, all the defensive side. And I don't recommend to start with SOC analyst because you will stay for 2-3 years working in SOC. The best way is to target threat hunting, target incident response, target digital investigation, target malware analysis, learn that and work in that. For me, I didn't work in SOC analyst any day in my life. I finished university when I studied malware analysis for quite some time. I did my analysis on Stuxnet, and I got to work as a malware analyst. I got to work as a senior incident handler after 3 months. After 3 months of experience, I worked as a senior incident handler in QSIRT. After that, I moved to Semantic in Ireland. I did need to work as a SOC analyst, that is somebody who's taking very low salary and easy to be replaced. I worked in a permanent contract, senior incident handler, and then a malware researcher in Semantic. Why? Because I focus on the skills that matters the most, not everyone certificates. So focus on threat hunting. Don't focus on certificates. Focus on learning threat hunting. Focus on learning incident response. Focus on learning malware analysis. This is the three paths you need to focus on. We do cover that in the malware incident response training as well. You can invest more in the threat hunting as well, and you will be ready for that. So even in India, $50 mean nothing. That's true, and that's interesting. But actually, that's I saw as bounties. And then I'm not trying to put the people who do webback hunting down or just throw stones on that. Like I'm really giving this advice from a loving person who wants to really see people having a really good job. It's really low price for the amount of hours that these people do. It's really good in your resume to find vulnerabilities in Google and Yahoo, and it's really good, and it's really good for that target. If you want to have a good resume with good achievements, web bug hunting is really good. for that, because you can put all of these companies you find vulnerabilities at, from Google, from Facebook, from Yahoo, from this and that. That's really great. But beyond the name and the credibility, it's not a job. It's not a job to stay forever. It's just for credibility. If you want to get big names on your resume, it's great. But as a salary, as you think about it as a long term, it doesn't build a family. It doesn't really make you live. And that's true. And the companies don't even want to pay. They found excuses to not pay. They make you wait for 3 months, 5 months to give you the money because they still didn't fix the vulnerability. Despite that, it's not your part that they didn't fix the vulnerability. They should pay you instantly. But they make you wait until they fix the vulnerability, then they pay you. And many cases, and I saw that on Facebook at least, and other companies who tell you, well, this is not a vulnerability, it's there by design, despite it is a weakness, just because they don't want to pay more. Microsoft trying to escape payment and they want to invest that money into actually training the team to not have these vulnerabilities in the first place, invested in their own team. And it's true. Um, how do you learn? Uh, how do you learn VAPT and ransomware phase? Well, if you want to understand them, you need to understand the whole APT attack. The first thing, the first thing you need to focus on is the method attack. Um, Let me try to share slides if I can. Or so you need to really understand the meter attack. What is meter attack? There is an organization called Meter who decided to collect all the different techniques the attackers have used to actually infiltrate any company, to get inside, to hack them, to move into, to control their servers, their all of their information, and do all the encryption and everything. And they plan all the phases that the attack goes to, from initial access, what they call it, where they send a spear phishing email trying to fake a login page or sending a malicious documents to different employees. They open them, they enable the macro, and they get infected. Then after that, they have a phase of privilege escalation where they go from just from a normal account, standard account on a machine, to be the root on the employee's machine, to be the administrator. Once they are the administrator, they have the full control. They can access all the passwords. Now they will use that employee email. They will use this employee credibility to hack other employees, and they will move forward inside the organization until they reach admins, who reach the IT support, the help desk, the domain admins. They will reach these people and take their username and password. Once they have their username and password, this is what's called the lateral movement phase. In the lateral movement phase, they reach the domain controller, they reach the servers, they have control over so many different machines. Now they have the passwords of the most important administrators of the organization, and they have access to so many servers, maybe all the servers. Now they go into exfiltrating this data, taking it and stealing it, and basically send it to their to the attacker, or they go into encrypting everything, or maybe they will create a login, fake account and passwords, or sometimes a ticket that allows them to log in into this organization for years after. Even if they reset all the passwords in the organization, they still can have access to the organization. They can still hack them, and with that, they stay in the organization for long time, for 8 months, 9 months, stealing all the information they need until they completely get bored from this organization. Now's the time to sell this information in underground forums, sell it to their competitors, encrypt their data, and ask for a ransom. This is basically the phases the attack goes from the spearfishing part, which it's mostly spearfishing or insider, or somebody who is being paid to work as a double agent. This is mostly the attacks. Then a malware they develop by their own becomes a backdoor in these employees' machines that have been hacked, and later on this malware bypasses defenses, escalate privilege, take control over the machines, and move. and they move inside the organization from one machine to another, from one employee to another, from one password and account to another, until they have the access to all the servers and all the and the domain controllers and everything. And from that, they steal their information, they encrypt all the files and so on. So this is how basically the whole attack works. And actually, we do have a training that we have just released, and I want to talk about as well in this session. And this training, what we give inside this training is that we cover the whole path from the initial access to the exfiltration. Um, we cover basically, this is the meta attack, this is the map of all the attacks you might see. We cover the initial access, all the different techniques the attacker might use to hack an organization. We give you how you can plan your own phishing attack, how you can do the spear phishing attack, how you can actually work on the psychology to deceive employees into clicking on the link to enter their username and password, or to send them a malicious document and they open, they enable the macro and install the malware. We help you execute this malware, create your own malware in C++, create your own scripts in PowerShell, in VBA macro, in C Sharp, and so on. Then we move into persistence, how you can stay in this machine and remain there even if you restarted the machine 1,000 times. Then how you can escalate privilege. Then how you can move laterally inside the organization. We also cover in depth defense evasion, how you can bypass the antivirus, how you can bypass the IDS, IPS, the machine learning new technologies that are there to detect malware, the EDRs, the endpoint detection response, and all of these paid products, all of these products that cost thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars that companies invest in, how you can bypass them, how they are bypassable, how you can steal credentials, how you can move laterally inside the organization until you reach the domain controller, and how you can take over the organization. We cover all of that in our training from A to Z. And let me move in the slides. Yeah, still share the screen. So we also cover. This is a webinar that I have done before, and I'm just showing you some parts. So we cover a full pre-recorded training for people who are asking if it's live or not. It's actually pre-recorded, and the original price is 1,280. Now we don't offer that price. We are in the last day of the early bird price. We cover all these attacks from. APT attacks, from ransomware attacks, how they actually done step by step. We cover these attacks. We cover how you can build um, your own CNC server, how you can actually um, have your CNC server, your phishing server, where they will go there and have a fake login page where they can enter their username and password, even for two-factor authentication, how you can steal their credentials. And you will have all of this built in the cloud. You will have all your machines built in the cloud. And here's the thing, having your servers, having your CNC server, your phishing server built in the cloud, especially Amazon cloud, not any cloud, but Amazon cloud, it will allows you to really bypass so many defenses because Amazon is very trusted. Their IPs are very trusted. This is the first thing. The second thing is that you can change your domain instantly. You can change your malware website. Like if the malware is connecting to let's say malware.com and they block malware.com, you can change that instantly. If they block your IP, you can change the IP instantly without changing anything. You have lots of ways to bypass their defenses and to bypass, even if they detected you, how you can bypass that, how you can still complete your attack, even if they have detected you in the middle of the attack. We do help you with that. We do cover so many different things on how to write your own malware, how to develop your own tools. This is very important skill that people are actually missing in cybersecurity, tons of people. And we help you from complete beginner. If you don't know how to write a single line of code, we help you learn C++, learn a little bit in PowerShell, learn how to use a little bit of C Sharp and VBA macro so you can actually develop your own malware and you can bypass defenses and so much more. So that's just a little bit about this training. Actually, today is the last day you can get the early bird prize. As well, you only the last day you can get all these bonuses from Kickstart Your Cybersecurity Career if you are new into cybersecurity. The programmer mindset, problem solving in C++. If you are completely new in programming, this will help you. You'll get that for free. You will not have to pay the original price. You'll get it for free. Now it's not 30 students. It's only three students left, actually two students left to join um, this bonus. I decided that today because they're going live and so many people have questions and so on, so I decided to increase that a little bit. So if you join today, you will still be able to get that bonus, even if this more than two people register today. You will still be able to get these bonuses. So it's only today you'll be able to get that bonus. You'll be able to get the Kickstarter cybersecurity career. As well, we do live coaching, bi-monthly live coaching, and so on. The VIP is already sold out. Unfortunately, this bonus already sold out early last month, or actually in September, I believe, or in October. It has been sold out since the webinar. Like we did this webinar. This is actually slides from the webinar we did, I think, in early October, and everything was sold out in the same. Like this VIP was sold out on the same day. In 24 hours, it was sold out. So this is now sold out. This the programmer mindset, problem solving in C++, and Kickstarter cybersecurity career. They are available today if you register today, and as well all that with the price of 997. I think I have the price here. You have also a certificate of completion, and this is of course, it's not pre-order; it's already released, but that's the price. And the link will be at that's the link at maltrack.com/red So let me answer more questions. I just decided to share this information because somebody was asking what I should do to learn all of this. So, to learn how to really build your skills in something that companies are afraid of right now, I have the path. I build you the whole path. You don't need to move through lots of scattered information because when I decided to learn all of this, well, I got some experience from semantic because I was working on APT attacks, but really the information is so scattered online. There's no a complete training, and the complete trainings you can find is $3,500 or even more. So that made me decide, okay, I need to build this path for my students. I want to build this path for people to go from learning how APT attacks works, how this ransomware attack works, step by step, how they can use the cloud, because the cloud is the next big thing. Most of companies are moving to the cloud now. And if you don't know anything about the cloud, in let's say 3 to 5 years, you will be way behind the others. Your skills will be a little bit redundant. So you need to really understand how the cloud works. And I help you through this training. Build your own labs in the cloud. I help you step by step in videos, and as well you have the whole project that you can just with one line of code build it in the cloud for yourself. As well, I help you with what's needed right now. So let me continue answering questions. Um, So I got this question from Ahmed, I think multiple times. Sorry, Ahmed. Um, Hi, Amr. Is it possible to mentorship learning path for OT cybersecurity? OT cybersecurity? Do you mean um, like you mean like Internet of Things and ICS and this stuff? To be honest, I'm not the person for that. So I will not be able to help you with that. So if you want to learn like how you can deal with OT or ICS type of cybersecurity, I did work on Stuxnet, but I didn't invest more into ICS. So I wouldn't be the person to help you with that. I'm sorry about that. Omar, can I make companies know about me and about my skills? How I can make the companies know about me and about my skills? Well, here's the thing: you need to market yourself. Here's Look, there's so many companies who are selling products to cybersecurity products to so many companies. How do you do that? They have a LinkedIn profile where they share their work. They have their own blog where they share their work. People who get hired in big companies or get invited to speak in conferences, they have their own Twitter account. They have their LinkedIn account. They have a GitHub account. They have their own blog. This is where they put these skills out. How do they put these skills out? Well, find a project that shows your skills. Let's say you have joined our in-depth red team training and you have finished that training, and now you have lots of skills on how attacks work, how attacks work step by step, from the initial access to take over the whole organization, how all of that works. All you're going to do is to write different blogs on samples you have wrote, PowerShell scripts, and how I can simulate um, how you can simulate Cobalt Strike attack, or how I can simulate this attack that has been APT 35. Here's how the APT 35 techniques mapped on meta attack. There's meta attack. Here's the APT 35 techniques that are used. Here's how you can simulate each one of them in your organization. The first thing, the malicious document. Here is how I wrote the PowerShell script that will simulate this, how I wrote the VBA macro. Here's the malicious document. Here is the story, and here's how I will send this email to make sure that employees click on the link. And then I will develop a malware that has this functionality. You don't need to put your whole malware, but you can put some different things. You can put different PowerShell scripts that actually simulate different things, simulate from creating a scheduled task, or use WMI to move through machines, or to use bits transfer, one of the known techniques, common objects, whatever it is, the technique, the advanced technique or simple technique, you have partial code or sample C++ code that shows how you can simulate that, how you can compile this C++ sample code to simulate different techniques, how you can run them to simulate this attack, the lateral movement, how you will simulate this, just a map of how you will simulate this attack. Just this blog can show how you can be a really professional red teamer, how you can be a professional penetration tester. You will, from that blog, you will get so many companies interested in hiring you. And if you choose an ABT attack that companies are talking about right now, let's say a new attack has came from an organization called or from a gang called malware hackers, whatever. And this malware hackers, FireEye called them ABT 100. Then, at that time, when everybody's talking about it, you wrote how to simulate ABT 100 and fix the weaknesses you have. And then you have a blog explaining how you simulate each single technique this ABT 100 has used. Once you do that, everybody was searching for ABT 100 and searching for IOCs, search for TTBs, searching for everything. You will reach your own blog and they will bookmark your own blog. They will read about portfolio, and companies who are looking to hire, they will look at if you are actually open to hire. Imagine at the end of this blog, just at the end of it, that you are a freelancer or you are a professional red teamer who is looking to work in red teaming in a multinational company, and you are open for recruitment. There will be so many people who will reach out to you. That's what happened to me with EasyCert. I got a call from the director of EasyCert, who's called Walid, and he called me and he told me, "Hello, is it Amr? I saw your blog and I saw you have your resume on the blog, and I got your phone from your resume that you have posted in your blog. I saw that you posted about." A project you have done in a forum somewhere. Are you looking to work with us? We are EasyCert and blah blah. This is a call I have actually received, and then I went to EasyCert. Was in Cairo. I was in Alexandria at that time. I traveled to their place. I had an interview, and I got hired on the spot. And the director tried to convince me to work with them, and he even gave me a free phone. He gave me like like a bribe to work with them. He gave me a phone he already had, was BlackBerry at that time. Never used it actually, and I give me this phone for free once I accepted to hire me. And he was like, "I will give you a free phone. I will give you this salary, and you work with us. We are creating this new team, and we want you to work with us." He was trying to convince me to work with them, not I'm convincing them to work with me. Before I get to before I work in this company, I got another call from another manager, and that would lead me to work in QSERT, and so on, just by having this blog and having my work. So first you need to learn the skills, and we have the training that help you. Then you will need to show your skills. If you want to showcase your skills, I will help you through the Zoom calls we have every second Monday. We have Zoom calls. We'll start actually tomorrow. We'll have tomorrow a Zoom call with all the students, and we'll give them the plan how they can build their portfolio, how they can build their resume, how they can build their blog, what are the different topics, what are the different examples of blogs they can follow. And if you cannot attend it, you can just ask the question and you will have the recording. So we help you through that process. Um, so uh, this live only on Facebook? No, it's live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn, and actually on Twitter for the first time. So another question. I want to learn red teaming without take the red team training. What's the resources to learn that? Because I'm not have uh, that many to pay for to get the red teaming. That's okay. We have different resources. Let me go back into this part. The only problem that I found, and that's one of the reasons that I decided to build that training, is because there's really not much of resources. The resources are so scattered everywhere, and there's different articles, and get this and get that. So let me share with you the resources that are there. Um, so to first you need to build your foundation, right? So you need to learn Security Plus or CH, or you can also join our Kickstart Your Cybersecurity Career, which is a free bonus in the training. Then you need to understand, like, you need to understand the basics of cybersecurity. What's the domain controller? What's domain account? What's firewalls, IDS, IPS? What's the difference between authentication and authorization? Took me a long time when I was young to understand that. Then understand the network protocols, the TCP, the UDP, the IP, the DNS, the HTTP, the HTTPS or HTTP over SSL. There is a good YouTube channel here that has all the resources, and as well you can practice on malware-traffic-analysis.net, which has different bcaps or packet captures of different network data is being sent and received. You can download them, you can analyze them in Wireshark, and you can understand what's happened, and you can dissect more the protocol and everything. So this is for the foundation. To learn red teaming, you need to read APT notes. You need to understand how the attacks look like. APT notes is a good resource. Another great resource actually I found recently is called the DFIR report. The DFIR report. Um, the DFIR. Wait a second. DFIR report.com. And this basically this website is really good in lots of articles about APT attacks. Let me put it for a longer time about cybersecurity attacks and attack from A to Z. It's really great reports they have there. Maybe not so much in depth in how the attack and how the malware looks like, but they have like a complete attack from A to Z, and from there you can understand so many attacks, how they happen, how the all steps they go through, and so on. The second thing is to understand the meta attack techniques. Meta attack that we saw with all the techniques, all the attacks that ever, all the techniques the attacker might ever use in their life, 170 different types of techniques. They are all explained here in short, in brief. There's also other resources and other links you can follow. You can also learn how they have been applied as a code, as a partial code, or as a malware. You can check Caldera techniques. Caldera is a CNC server, command control server, and it has its own malware. It's a red team simulation tool, and as well the atomic red team that I told you about from Red Canary. Um, Most important, read the tools code and understand how they do not just focus on using them. And there are other tools you can read as well that can help you understand so many different things. Powersploit, Sharpsploit, Caldera agents, we talked about the Caldera malware and the APT simulator. um, and there's also a Splunk attack range that you can basically look at how he can simulate the attacks. This is for different code, different techniques. Also, you can dive into privilege escalation techniques through these links. How you can escalate privilege from a restricted account or a standard account to administrator or to the root. Dive into Active Directory attacks or different types of lateral movement. How you can move from one machine to another and steal credentials. This is really a good resource for that. For defense evasion, there's lots of different resources, and I just collected as much as I can up here. There's so many of them up there. At the end, read and understand them. Don't just use the tools. This is the most important. Even in our training, we try to focus on how you build the tools, how the technique actually works, the idea behind it, and how you can build it by your own hands in C++ and PowerShell, whatever the language we'll use, and then how you can use the tool you have built to actually test these attacks on companies. Um, and to learn programming, this is a really great course by Spectre Ops. You don't have the full course, you have only the slides, but it's really good. The slides and the labs, like all the samples. There's also a Team PowerShell cheat sheet that you can see. And C++, we have so many resources everywhere as well. We do provide a training in that, a free bonus in the in-depth team training. And as well, this book, Windows Internals, is a really good book to cover that talks about Windows internals, how Windows work from inside. At the end, research is the key. You need to keep researching over and over and over again to dive deep into the system internals, to read the API documentation, read source code, read assembly if needed, and start at least by reading different tools, resources, and different source code. Um, and as well, or we can help you with that. We have, as we said, we have the in-depth routine training, pre-recorded with live Q sessions, focus on the attacks that matters to companies the most, and full of hands-on practice and so on. And it is for cybersecurity professionals, penetration testers, SOC analysts, incident handlers, and so on. And as we said, the only prerequisites to this training is good IT administration background. We give you the cybersecurity, we give you the C++. This is not prerequisites in the training. This is the only one. We give you the Kickstart Your Cybersecurity Career. You have a free bonus that you already have that will help you with that. If you haven't wrote anything in C++ or you don't have the programming fundamentals, we included a bonus that can help you with that. The training agenda, as we said, the APT attacks and red teaming infrastructure in AWS. This is the first thing. This will help you understand the whole attack, how it works step by step, how I can simulate it, and as well how you can build your own lab in the cloud, how you can actually learn the cloud for the first time. So how you can develop different things in the cloud, how you can build your own tools in the cloud, especially in the Amazon cloud that every company is almost every company is using either AWS or Azure. Very few that use Google. So you learn really the skills that will help you in the future. Once you learn the cloud, you can learn the cloud security. You can be you can have the skills that's needed 3 years from now or 5 years from now. There will be the skill that everybody needs, and you already have it before anyone. Learn the phishing and social engineering, how you can craft your own phishing, your own how you can play on psychology to craft an email that gets the employees to click on the link, how you can create a phishing page where they log in with their like a fake login page where they log in with their username and password. You can detect if this username and password is incorrect. You can actually detect if there's two-factor authentication and get them to enter their their code from their phone or whatever they have and actually steal their credentials. This is the module two. Module three, the initial access, how to craft a malicious document and get inside the organization. Then you write your own malware. This malware will connect to Caldera as a command and control server, and you will write your malware step by step. We'll write it together, so you will not be stuck in any part. You will just follow with it. Write whatever you see in the video. Apply it by yourself. Write that code. Get creative, and you will build your skills in a very easier way. Also, will cover how to implement different plugins, how to have a keylogger to steal credentials, and so on. Then we cover how to maintain persistence, how to escalate privilege in depth, from simple techniques to advanced techniques, to how to add that into your own malware for persistence and for the privilege escalation. Then we focus on defense evasion way in depth, because I have worked in an antivirus company. I have worked in Tenable, who scan all the vulnerabilities. I can tell you this is all the techniques you might ever need to bypass an antivirus, to bypass an EDR, to bypass a network defense tool like IDS, IPS, NDR, then the network detection response. All of this, I will show you exactly what's needed to bypass them. In three modules, and then you get how to steal credentials, all different types of credentials, how to so many different techniques, not only one or two techniques. And then we will cover how you can actually understand the whole network, understand the whole map of the organization, all the machines, what's the easiest path to reach the domain controller, to reach the source of all the passwords inside the organization, how to move step by step, and how to plan that, how to do the planning, and how to use different weaknesses in the authentication mechanisms that Windows use, Kerberos and NTLM, and how you can actually uh, dominate the organization. So that's all. What is it? Again, this is people who attended the live training version of it, and they really loved it. John Jones was saying that it's worth its weight in gold. Um, it's really, really a great training. I really say that because I really mean it. It's not because I'm selling that, because I know that this training is really life changing, and the material is scattered everywhere. There's no one that has actually collected it and put it in that price, to be honest. With all my experience, with all my expertise working in semantic and one of the top companies around the world, working in Tenable, where I work with clients from the Fortune 500 companies, see their attacks and see their machines. This Omar, I mean, he was saying one of the best outstanding trainings I have ever taken. Um, and especially in malware development, in EDR and EV evasion. Um, Most of the training courses out there, I don't see malware development from scratch. So we really take you from scratch, step by step. And here's the thing: even if you don't develop a malware at the end, you need to learn how to develop your own tools. Whatever the tool is, you will develop not only a malware, but you will develop your own tools. Whatever a scanning tool, whatever a tool to simulate something, you will need to learn how to write your own malware, how to write your own scripts, how to automate different steps you have. Unfortunately, so many people in cybersecurity don't learn programming, and it's really missing out. It doesn't mean you have to work in cybersecurity, to have to land your first job, you need to learn programming. I don't say that, and I never said that. But in the longer run, it will really make you stand out. This is Adebayo saying one of the best trainings I ever attended, and easily one of the best decisions I have made. These guys have purchased this training with way more than the price of its now. So now we are having the lowest price. We have it pre-recorded, so you can watch it at your own time. And there's so many testimonials here. I can't just read all of them, but this is the Kickstart Your Cybersecurity Career. Will be the good intro. Just want to go fast on all the different testimonials and stuff. This is what you will be getting: the full pre-recorded training. It's pre-recorded. You can watch it in your own time. Kickstart Your Cybersecurity Career course. The original price is $197. You will get it for free. The Programmer Mindset. The original price is $397. You will get it for free. The pre-recorded training, just this one, the original price. The price will be after today will be 1,280. But today it's just all of that together is 997. which is what we are offering today. I'll just close the slides and show that. So I will get back to the questions. Um, so Mahmoud, I hope I answered your questions. What are the essential bases they need to start in routine? Network, Linux, or something else? Network, Windows administration. Not in like you don't need to really have a certificate there, but at least to have the basics. Understand what's domain admin, what's authentication, what's authorization. Know how to use a VMware, for example. Like how the basic things. What's registry? What's process? What's thread? All of these basics. Linux is a big plus, and network. Yes, network protocols, TCP, UDP, HTTP, HTTPS, all of that part. Can you send us the link for the YouTube playlist that is in the slides? I will send you the whole slides. Don't worry about that. Um, I will watch tomorrow. You're welcome at any time. A quick one, please. How long access to the training resources? You have lifetime access to all the training resources. You have the QA sessions that we do live every second Monday. You have 1 year of that live support, but access to the training, you have lifetime access to all the training material. So don't worry about that. Evil Jinx is its new version too. Yes, we use Evil Jinx. We use GoFish and planning our phishing attack, and we use the version 2. Um, what should I do after the course? We guide you through that. So with our QA sessions, the Zoom calls, we help you. Okay, this is what you have to learn, and this is what you have to do in the time where you are learning. Because you're spending, let's say, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, whatever how long you want to spend in this training, it doesn't have to be a wasted time to build your own portfolio. You have a LinkedIn profile, you have a Twitter account, you have your own blog. Build all of that and start posting from the first day you join the training. I tell you, build your own blog. Start posting every 2 weeks, at least one post in your blog, showing your skills, showing what you have learned. In the first two modules, you will learn how to use the cloud, how to use Terraform, how to use AWS, how to build your phishing campaign. Use that and build a blog about phishing campaigns. Make a blog about social engineering mastery, about how to plan your spear phishing attack, how to build a Terraform project, how to use the AWS cloud, how you can how you can how you can test your company awareness level. So many different names and so many different things you can build your own blog. Then in the next in the module 3, we cover how you can craft your own malicious documents, how you can use different things, then build different partial scripts, add them in your GitHub. In your GitHub, have a project called red team scripts, and then you have PowerShell initial access script, and you have a name for it. Let's say download and execute PowerShell script, PowerShell script for COM objects, and then have a blog that shows why these attacks and how you can basically get somebody from enabling the macro to take over his machine, then and so on through the training. So once you finish the training, or even before you finish the training, you're already either getting offers from recruiters and you're already in the interview level, or you are ready to apply for jobs and you're already applying while you're still studying in the training, because you already learned so much and you already posted in your blog, you already showcase your skills. So by module 8 or module 10, you're already applying for different jobs, you're already in the process. So there's nothing after the training, it's in the middle of the training you are actually working to get your job. We don't make you waste time. This is why I call this session how to get a high paid penetration testing job in the shortest time possible. That's why, because you have to do all of these things together if you want to get the job as soon as possible. Um, so malware incident response training. Malware incident response training is really a great training if you want to go into the blue team side. You want to be the investigative person. You want to be the person who is looking through how this attack happened. What's the malware? What are the evidences that appear there? You are the investigator, you are the malware analyst. It's really great training for that. But if you want to be the one who hacks system, who breaks systems and show the weaknesses this company had, then the in-depth training is the best for you. Which one works better, which one has better jobs, I cannot really tell you, because both of them are focusing on one thing, which is how to protect an organization from the biggest threat they are facing right now, which is um, red teaming. That's why both of them are basically, it's like two sides from one coin. Both of them are trying to fix one specific problem, one from the defensive side and one from the offensive side. And companies want both. They want even more than that to really protect themselves. They will not hire only you. If you are a pen tester or a red teamer, they will not hire only one defensive person. They will hire a team that can work together in simulating attacks, in testing defenses, in creating new defenses, in analyzing malware, and so on. So both are really good. Both are having the same target, and it's up to you what you like to be, what you're passionate about, investigating or breaking and hacking. Is it important to learn ICS before searching for job in red teaming? No, not all companies do have ICS equipment. Not all companies hire uh, the team to be good in ICS. There will be one team that focus on ICS security, and there will be a team that focus on all the different cybersecurity stuff, because they have so many employees, they have so many different offices, they have so many different data centers and servers and so on, and they have ICS equipment. So this is one part of it. You can learn to be in the team who works on the security of the ICS, or you can be the person who's working in securing everything in the organization except the ICS. And most of the security that related to ICS is all the steps before. If you hack the organization, moving laterally inside the organization from their servers or their machines to the ICS tool is easy. But if you can't hack the whole organization from the beginning, hacking the ICS equipment, it will be super difficult. So they all are together. I'm on module two. Amazing. In malware incident response. Very good. Will you save this stream? Yes, it's all will be live on YouTube. The link in YouTube there. Please go to the YouTube channel Amr Thabit, and you will have it there. Also, it's on LinkedIn and Facebook, on Twitter, everything. Um, do you think that the first step of being a red teamer is being a penetration tester? They are. So here's the thing: penetration tester and red teamer are the same person. But here's the thing: what you are focusing on, web attacks, infrastructure attacks, which is Kali Linux or OSCP, or what you learn in OSCP, or you focus on ransomware attacks or APT attacks, or you focus on ICS, or you focus on cloud security. What's your focus? If you focus on one thing, just go for it. If you want to focus on APT attacks and target ransomware attacks, then go for the red teaming, go for the adversary simulation. You will need also to learn the WASP top 10 and learn a little bit about the infrastructure attacks and exploits and so on. I don't see you don't need to learn about them, but your main focus, your main expertise will be in the red teaming. So you don't need to learn this before that. I see that a lot also in the defensive side. I need to be a SOC analyst before I need to be an incident hunter or a digital investigator or a digital forensics guy or a malware analyst. You don't need to. Just focus on the thing you want and learn a little bit about all the other topics. Focus on the red teaming, learn the red teaming, and also learn a little bit of WASP top 10, of infrastructure attacks, learn how to use Metasploit, at least how it's being used, and the whole exploits world stuff. But you do not need to go in depth in that. Your focus is red teaming. That's where you excel. So that's what you need to focus on. Um, so thanks a lot, Amr. Again, you are absolutely welcome. Uh, Muhammad, I'm talking about the malware analysis training. I understood, no problem. And good luck. You are in module two. That's really great. Is artificial intelligence a good skill in red teaming? I wouldn't say yes. Here's the thing: artificial intelligence and machine learning is really a great skill, but machine learning, the main prerequisites to have a machine learning algorithm that actually works is that you need lots of data. So you need lots of data. You have an algorithm that automates something, and that doesn't really happen a lot with red teaming. I don't see really lots of use cases of learning red teaming, of learning machine learning or artificial intelligence to be a good red teamer. Here's the thing: focus on what's needed the most. Then later on, you might find a project where machine learning or artificial intelligence can actually help you. You might find a problem that machine learning or artificial intelligence might be the one to solve. And then after 3, 5 years working as a red teamer, now you can think about, oh, do I need to learn machine learning because I want to do this automation or this? And the same for malware analysis. If you want to work as a malware analyst, you don't need machine learning. But if you want later on to develop tools that detects different malware and classify malware into families and variants, yeah, you will need machine learning, but that's way more advanced. I started learning that when I was working in semantic, maybe in the second year. So I was already 3 years of experience when I started first time learning start learning machine learning. So you don't need to do that at the beginning at all. Um, does coding help? It does. It does help. At the end of the day, I always say programming is not a must at the beginning and the first job, but it does help. If you have the programming side, your resume will look way better. You will be from very few candidates because I see, and you can see that in cybersecurity, there's very few people who knows programming. I was lucky that I was already coming from programming background. I was a programmer before developing graphic applications and stuff. So I was already a programmer before I joined to be a malware analyst, and the same in routine, right? But for it's not needed. It's just really really helps and really uplift your resume. We do cover that in the training. We do cover C++ from complete zero. If you haven't wrote a single line of code, we'll help you with that. So we give you that. So again, in malware analysis, is it important to learn code analysis? Learning code analysis or learn how to read code is very different skill than writing code. It's very, very different. And yes, you need to understand how to read PowerShell code. But at the end of the day, reading code doesn't mean understanding every single line. It means finding the clues, finding evidences. Um, of what exactly this malware is doing. If I see a command inside the code called download um, download URL to a file, what does that mean? Well, it means he's downloading a file from a URL. Give him link and he downloads it to a file. That's just from the name. I don't need to know this command to understand, right? So this is what you need to do. You need to look at these commands and able to understand what's the meaning that might be, and as well, if you don't know, you can research using Google or something. And I do read languages like Utuit, like PHP, like Perl, and so many languages that I never wrote a single line of code in them, but I know how to read because I do know how to research and how to do that. And actually, in our malware last training, we give you this type of hints. We show you different VBA markers. Like in the first module, we show you some code and tell you, okay, let's read that together in this obfuscated code. Let's learn how to work on that. And I give you these ideas on how you can think beyond reading the code. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to be able to learn how to code. So learn how to find evidences inside the code. Um, but assembly language, you will need to really understand how to read it. All of this you have to read just in malware analysis. Um, Also, another exploit. Can malware analysis help me to learn exploit development? Yes, a lot. Because you will learn it simply so well that um, you will just need to uh, write a simply code. And once you go into the writing, then you understand so many things. One question for advanced stuff in security. In your previous job in semantic, you had attack based on ring 2 in APT. Um, so ring 2, ring 3. Um, so In so to clear that, I just wanted to make sure that the information I have is in my mind is correct. So in Windows, the processor has four rings of protection, or four levels of access, four levels of privilege. There is the level which is ring three, which is all our programs are running at, and there is the ring two, ring one, and then ring zero. And ring zero is the administrator, is the kernel, where the Windows kernel code actually works. And this level of memory you cannot access from ring three. It's completely protected, and when you are in ring three you have access to everything inside the computer, like if all the hardware you can directly reach, the hardware you can have full access. Windows mainly works in ring 0 and ring 3, in user mode and kernel mode. They don't use the ring 1 or 2. There are other different protections started to use, I believe, ring 1 or 2, but in Windows, no, normal Windows doesn't use ring 1 or ring 2. They use ring 3, which is user mode, and ring 0, which is kernel mode. Um, so that's all. Spectre, Meltdown, in your, what's that? Um, you mean attacks that use ring 0? Yeah, we had in ring 0 or kernel mode. Yeah, we had attacks, APT attacks that use kernel mode. It's now way less happening, way less. But yeah, we had that. So, guys, I think we are way over the time. So, any questions you have? By the way, today is the last day you can actually get the. Um, Let me show the screen. So today is the last day you can actually get the red team training with the $997 price. It's actually, the original price is 1280, and that price, once it is in that price, the Kickstarter cybersecurity career won't be part of that training. This free bonus, the programmer mindset, problem solving in C++, this free bonus wouldn't be there. So you basically saving from 2,568 to just 997. So make sure you take advantage today. There's only very few. There's only few hours left to actually join this training with that price, 997, the early bird price. So make sure, if you decide to do that, just join today. All you have to do is to go to maltrack.com/reteaming. Let's go to slides before. Yeah, that's better. So this is the only link, the maltrack.com/reteaming. You will have there the opportunity to join. If you cannot join with 997, there is a payment plan with $350 for 3 months. So you can always join with any price. For the slides of this presentation, I will be sharing them as soon as possible. I will be sharing them in the YouTube video as well. For you guys who missed the presentation, I know some of you had to leave early, or people who came late and they missed lots of stuff. The replay will be sent through email today, actually. Um, so thanks you guys for joining. Any last questions about the training, about red teaming, how to start a career in cybersecurity in general? You need to start first learning the administration part, like how Windows work, how Linux work. You need to be go from like normal user to a super user, learn how network protocols work. After that, you will need to go into either the normal way security plus, and then go into different certificates, or you can join us in the in-depth red team training, and we take you from there. We teach you programming, then we give you all the resources you need to know the basics of cybersecurity, how that works, how cybersecurity actually works, what are the fields, and so on. Then you go into the in-depth red teaming. If you like the offensive side, you learn how attacks work and how you can simulate these attacks, how you can be this professional hacker, how you can be equal to these big gangs like ReEvil and other gangs, how you can do attacks like them, how you can develop your own malware, and so on. And with that as well, will help you build your resume along the way and showcase your work. And then 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, whatever, how long you spend on learning that, you reach the level where you are ready to find a job in cybersecurity. And as well, you already showcase through that time your skills, so you'll get companies already asking you to work with them. This is the path that I have built. And if you are interested to go through that path, it's already built out for you. It's already built out with A's. You can just walk it through. You learn the administration network basics, and if you have them, we will get you from there. We'll give you the basics, so you can learn all the foundation of cybersecurity. Then you can learn how attacks work, and then how you can simulate them, how you can program stuff, and how you can program your own malware, how you program your own tools, and how to showcase. Everything is planned out, so you can graduate from us, get a certificate as well from us, and from there you actually rise uh, to the top. You get your own first high-paid penetration testing job, and you write us a very nice testimonial. That's the whole plan we have built, and it's already there for you. So that's it for this presentation, and see you guys in the next live. Probably I will try to commit to go live at least every 2 weeks, if not every 1 week. So that's it for today. See you guys very soon. Bye bye.